Hello guys, welcome back to another video on this channel. We're going to be reacting to our 2025 season predictions. So let's start. Now, I've never done this before. This is the first time I've been doing this on this channel. I didn't do this last year because, of course not. This is my first time. And yeah, we're going to react to the predictions. And we're also going to read the comments. So let's start. So 18th. 18th. I predicted Richmond to be 18th. Where did they finish? They finished 17th. So I was only just wrong. They were 5 and 18. I predicted them to be 3 and 20. Wow. I understand they have too many injuries. And yeah.
A fighting fury, we're from Tigerland.
For North Melbourne, I predicted them to be 17th, but they finished 16th. They finished 5 and 17 and 1. I predicted them to be 5 and 18 with a percentage of 73.9. I know they got Caleb Daniel and Luke Parker, but yeah, let's move on to the 16th.
So join in.
Oh no. One of the bad predictions I've done from this video. Gold Coast in 16th. They finished 7th. They played Fremantle. And yeah, Gold Coast won the final. And then they lost to Brisbane the next week. So yeah. I got totally wrong. 74.8%, 5 wins and 18. They were 124.9. They were 15 and 8. So let's move on to 15.
We are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. We are one in the red.
So for 15th, I predicted the Eagles, and unfortunately, that spot went to Essendon. The Eagles only had 1 win for the season, 22 losses, and percentage of 60.1. I predicted them to be 5 wins and 18 losses, percentage of 80.5. But yeah, they only beat St Kilda. So let's move on to 14th. Essendon, 14th. That spot went to the D's, unfortunately. Essendon finished 15th, 6 and 17, percentage of 69.5, which was lower than Kangas. 88.2, oh my days, this was not good. And what's good play? Oh yeah, Essendon's just. Let's move on to 13th.
See the bombers fly up.
St Kilda.
Say.
Pretty decent, they lost. I predicted Saints to finish 13th, 7 wins, 16 losses, 88.5. They finished 12th, we got close. They were 9 and 14 actually. 88.5, which is lower than the D's. And 13th went to Port Adelaide. And yeah.
Go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in.
I predicted the D's to be 12, 8 wins and 15, percentage 92 points. The D's finished 14th, so the Saints were actually 12th. Yep. So Melbourne was 93.3. There was 7 and 16. This is how it should have been if Collingwood didn't win, I reckon, in my opinion. Even though Melbourne's only down to like 13 premiership players. So let's move on to 11, which is the Dockers. And now for Freo. I predicted them to finish 11th, but they finished 6th this season. They made the finals for the first time since 2022. They finished 16-7, percentage was 109. In my prediction, that was 11-12 with percentage of 98.8. Yeah, just missed the finals last. I might do it again. That's not right, I reckon. Let's move on to Carlton. Alright, for Carlton, should have missed the final last year, might do it this year, but 10th, 13-10, 105.4. Carlton finished 11th, 96.7, record was 9-14. Sydney actually finished 10th, not the Blues, but now let's move on to the Bulldogs. So 9th is the Bulldogs, and I actually got it right. 14-9. Oh my god, I got that correct, but just the percentage is wrong. I've made them 111.7, but this actually says 137 because the Dogs have been smashing a lot of clubs this year. Like, they almost made the finals, but they lost to the Dockers. So, yep. Let's move on to the 8th spot.
Sons of the West.
For Port Adelaide, I made them finish 8th, record 15 wins and 8 losses, percentage 112.1. Genuine fucks. Oh my god, I got that wrong. They finished 9-14, 79.8 percentage. Oh my god, that was not a good prediction. Hawthorn actually finished 8th, but yeah. So let's move on to the 7th. I'm actually made the Crows finish 7th in this, but they finished on top of the ladder. They were 18-5, percentage was 139.3. I made them 15-8 and 126.3. Yep. So let's move on to 6th spot.
Where the pride of South.
Oh, Collingwood is 6th, 16-7. Well, I actually got 16-7 right, but they actually finished 4th. Oh, yep. They finished 4th, but I did get my record correct. But I made the 105.4. They ended up at 122.4. This was probably my stupidest idea. Who hope Nick Dacos wins? Like, he's a midfielder. Read the comments. What does this say? Nick Dacos was never going to win the Coleman, mate. And yep. So let's move on to
Good old Collingwood forever.
well, Sydney as 5th, 16-7, 111.2 percentage. They finished 10th, percentage of 97, 12-11. I got wrong on this. I thought Sydney were going to be great again after the grand final loss last year, but no. That's how it ended up. So,
Cheer, cheer the red and the white.
So 4th spot I picked the Cats. That was 16-7, 113.7%, but they actually finished 2nd with percentage of 141.5, smashing more clubs, 17-6. But they just lost the grand final, like 47 points, but yeah, whatever. So let's move on to number 3. Oh, the Giants. I finished top 4 again. I hope you like Colin again. 17-6, 116.4. They actually finished 5th with 16-7, 115.3%. but they lost the elimination final with Hawthorn. Let's move on. That was Hawthorn, and yep, I made them want to finish 18-5, percentage of 126 points. I finished top 2. They were in like the top 2 at one point, but they kind of lost a little bit of games, so that's how they couldn't do it, and Hawthorn nearly missed finals. Yeah.
We're a happy team at home.
So yeah, I made them 18-5, 128.8 for the percentage, and Brisbane did win the premiership, but however they were 16-6 and 1, percentage of 114.2, and I made Hawthorn 126.6, but they actually finished 8th with 120.9. But so yeah. How do I go with my finals predictions? So finals week 1. Brisbane Geelong, I'm got it correct. They did make it. However, Brisbane was not the home side, and Geelong beat Brisbane in that qualifier. Sydney v Port, that doesn't count because they didn't make finals both. Collingwood Adelaide, Collingwood is not meant to be the home side, and the Crows was the away, but Crows was the home side, and Collingwood did win, and this was actually an elimination final, not a qualifying final. But yeah. Hawthorn v Giants. This was actually the elimination final. This said the qualifying final. I made Hawthorn win. I was right, but yeah, I made the Giants away. So semi-finals. Geelong and Port is not counting, and the Giants and the Pies are not counting since. Yep. Prelim finals. Brisbane Giants not counting. Hawthorn and Geelong. We did get this right though. However, second prelim final. They did make the prelim, but Geelong actually won in reality. Brisbane and Hawthorn, they did not make the grand final. And yeah, that's all what I've got to say for those predictions. And the final thing I'm going to do is probably just read the comments. Guys, favourite teams. How do you go for this many teams? At least the prediction Collingwood is winning the flag. Screwed up a few of them. Passed them earlier in the I said this early in the video. Shot predictions, that's a great prediction. As if the Bombers don't make it bad, but don't mind it. Essendon to make the finals in 25. Absolutely not. They finished lower than the D's. They finished bottom 4 this year. Oh my. Okay. You missed the flag Pies. They just need 2 more to win this. That did not happen because they lost the prelim. Wow. My bad, King maybe Jezza. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for this video. This reacting video. And yeah, some predictions were good back then and some were not, but you name it, I reckon I'll try my best to do better predictions when I make the video soon. And also happy Halloween to the people that celebrate Halloween today. And Anyway, thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more content on this channel.